good morning, everyone. Welcome to Coffee with the Pastor. This is our podcast for Monday. Uh, this week, we're going to be discussing the return of Christ should bring joy. But I do not want you to be ignorant, Paul writes, brethren, concerning those who have fallen asleep, lest you sorrow as others who have no hope. For we believe that Jesus died and rose again. Even so, God will bring with him those who sleep in Jesus. For this we say to you by the word of the Lord, that we who are alive and remain until the coming of the Lord will by no means precede those who are asleep. For the Lord himself will descend from heaven with a shout, and with the voice of an archangel, and with the trumpet of God, and the dead in Christ will rise first. Then we who are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. And thus we shall always be with the Lord. Therefore, comfort one another with these words. Well, obviously, speaking of the rapture, the catching away, the harpazo in the Greek. But are we comforted? It says, therefore, comfort one another with these words. Are we comforted? Or are we terrified that we're not ready? 1 Thessalonians 5 says, continues by, those who sleep, sleep at night, and those who get drunk are drunk at night. But let us who are of the day, people of light, be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, as a helmet, the hope of salvation. For God did not appoint us to wrath, but to obtain salvation through Jesus Christ, who died for us, and whether we wake or sleep, we should have lived together with him. Therefore, comfort each other and edify one another, just as you also are doing. Philippians 2 says, therefore, if there's any consolation in Christ, any comfort of love, any fellowship of the Spirit, if any affection and mercy, fulfill my joy by being like-minded, having the same love, and one accord and one mind. Let nothing be done through selfish ambition or conceit. He continues, let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus, who being in the form of God did not consider it robbery to be equal with God, but made himself of no reputation, taking the form of a bondservant. We all know what a bondservant is. A bondservant is a slave by choice, but made himself of no reputation, taking the form of a bondservant and living and coming in the likeness of men. And being found in appearance as a man, he humbled himself and became obedient to the point of death, even the death of the cross. Therefore, God has highly exalted him and given him the name which is above every name. Therefore, he continues and says, work out your salvation with fear and trembling. Now, why would Paul say that? See, that kind of throws that once saved, always saved thing right out the window. Because Paul is saying, I have to work on my salvation every day. I have to get back up right with the cross. I know a gentleman who used to say he used to hear a thud every morning when he got up because he fell off his cross and had to put himself back up there. Well, it's walking the narrow walk, and that's the key. God bless you. See you again next time.